Hello everyone, this is Lolly. I am going to show you today how I made this. Now those of you who do a lot of swapping, you know it's easy to lose track of what swaps you have committed to. And so in the Passbook group, Passbook Pals, and I will give you the link below to that, and what are Passbooks. It's a new craft trading, swapping craft group that I created. But in that group, I started using these, which you can see I've got some listed here. These are swap logs, and I'll give you a link below also to how you can download this yourself, and you don't have to own a Dropbox account to do it, so don't panic. But it's still easy to lose the sheet of paper, so I decided that if I hung this on the wall, then I would never lose it in my pile of craftiness. So I've had requests to show how I made it, so I will show you. What you will need is a piece of cardboard. It doesn't have to be really nice chipboard, so if you could tear apart a box or whatever, you'll need 12 inches by 11 3/4. So when you're working on this, it looks like it's a square, but you'll always have to make sure you orient this the right way. And one of the ways I think I will do that is to make sure that I mark it with a pencil so I know which end is up. Okay, so you will need that, and then I am going to use the papers this time from this Wild Flourish from Die Cuts with a View. Let me set that aside, and I'll show you what you need. So for the base paper, let me pull all this out. For this piece of paper, you will need the same size as the cardboard, so 12 by 11 3/4. And then for these corners right here, you need 1 4.5 piece of paper, or cardstock. For this sheet, you need a 12-inch square, and the reason is it's a little longer this way, and it's easy to grab and to open. This is 12 by 1.5, and this is 12 by 1.5, and then you need some sort of magnetic closure. I have magnetic closure here, or Velcro, or whatever you want, or you don't have to put a closure on it at all. I just figured every time I walk by, I didn't want this flapping open in the breeze and, you know, tearing. So that's why I have the closure. You don't have to do that. So let's look at what I have. I've got my pencil mark. Where did I put that already? And that's there. And so here's the papers I have chosen. This will be for the base. Let's see, which is the, yep, that way. Okay, so, and then this will be my corners, my pockets down here. And this will be my cover, like this, and my strip across the top. It's just for like a reinforcement. And then the bottom right here, this will be the strip there too. So first thing I want to do is to go ahead and adhere this to the cardboard. And make sure it's vertical, I mean it's upright. And then I'm going to use Advanced Tape Glider. This is the 1/2 inch instead of the 1/4 inch. Before we get too far, I do want to point out that you may have noticed I only have one nail decorated, and the reason is I went to the Chocolate Festival in Denver, and they had this new nail company, and they were giving away samples, nail color, so it's not Jamboree nails, it's a different, and it doesn't require heat application. I'll give you a link below to the consultant that was doing these. So I decided to try one out because every time I use Jamboree nails, my nails have peeled really badly for a year. And so I'm hoping that without the heat application, maybe it'll work better. So we'll see. Okay, now I need this, and these are for the corners, and what we do is you cut it from one corner to the next. So I did that, and you need a bone folder, and so on the two edges here and here, we need to score in 1/2 inch. So let me put this here, score in 1/2 inch, oops, and there. Okay, I'm going to trim where the two score lines meet. I'm going to trim right off there, almost up to the corner. These are going to go around here. I'm going to fit them on there first as tightly as I can get them. Then I'm going to use the Scotch Dry tacky glue here. Now what I noticed from my prototype as I was using this is that from the constant use, I'm going to clip this on here so it doesn't move while I'm gluing the one side. I think that'd be a good idea. But from constant use, this my corner tore, so what I'm going to recommend, come on, get in there, is if you have Mod Podge or some kind of glue to reinforce the front of the pocket. And so I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Okay, so what I mean is, from the constant putting papers in and out of here, like this, I tore this because, you know, it's just paper. So one thing you can do is to reinforce this edge, or before you start using it, you could put a piece of wax paper in here to protect this and Mod Podge this around. Or you could Mod Podge the whole thing before you fold the ends under and glue it in, but that would give it some extra strength there. It's just a thought. Okay. Now, while I have the scoreboard out, I want to take my cover piece, which is this one, and I want to score it at 1.5 down from the very top. So this is the top of my paper. I'm going to score it 1.5 inches this way, which would be 10.5. I should have scored it on the other side, but that's okay, because I do want it to be able to fold this way. So that's why I should have scored it the other way. That way, now I'm going to fold it flat again. That way it gives me a nice bend there. And now I'm going to glue or tape, I think I'll tape this to the base here. Okay, now because I made this 12 and this is only 11 3/4, you can grab a hold of that really easily. And I see I didn't put it on there very straight. I'm not sure how well this is going to peel up. That's a little better. Okay, so that's on there, and now I'm just going to glue this on there. If you have, depending on what your papers are, you can always distress, put distress ink on these to really accentuate them. It really doesn't matter what glue I'm using, but I decided to use this. One more thing I need while I'm thinking about it, and that's if you're going to use magnets, you're going to have to put those on the bottom. I like to do that and then cover them with a piece of paper, so I'm just going to punch out these to cover my magnets. They kind of blend in with the environment. And then I'll put the other magnets here and cover those with my last strip that I showed you that matches this one. Now you can completely skip this step if you don't want magnets, because it will hang well, and just the weight of the paper alone will help that too. These magnets I have are from K&J Magnetics, but you can also find similar ones on eBay. They are 3/8 inch wide by 1 32 inch thick, and they are the N52. That's the most important thing, is the strength of them. So I'm going to pull off 2 as a set here and 2 as a set there. These are one direction magnets. You can get some that are more than just one direction. So these ones I have to be careful of how I'm gluing them on, or they will repel each other. So I'm going to put a little dot here, and those are the outsides. Okay, so now I know which ones to glue. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of put a dot somewhere. Oh, you know what? I can't just put it right in the middle here because it needs to be down to the bottom 1.5 inch because, well, bottom 1 3/4 inch because my strip is going to be 1.5 inch here and it's got, no, it's 1 1/4. Okay, 1 1/4, somewhere in the 1 1/4 bottom here. So down towards the bottom is where that magnet has to go. I'm going to stick it really low to the bottom and towards the edge here. So let's do that. I'm going to make sure I put the part that I marked down on that. And then I'm going to put this on there. I put the E6000 glue right in the center of the magnet, and then I'm going to use my Scotch quick dry adhesive all around the edge of my paper that covers it up. I'm going to hold that down for a moment. Same thing here. I'm going to keep this magnet over here because that's going to go on this corner as it comes down. And so this one, E6000 over here. And again, I'm going to put one of my marked ends down. All right, I'm leaving my magnets out here so I know which one goes where, and I will let this set for about 25-30 minutes. Okay, so this has been sitting there for a while. I am ready to do the next one. So what we're going to do, where's my other strip? Strip, where'd you go? So this is going to go right here on the back of this to give this strength so that when I grab it, it will be stronger, plus it will kind of cover the magnets up. So what I'm going to do is line it up right here. So now what I'm going to do is lift this up and slide that paper clip right there. You know, it just snaps right in place. And this one too. And even if you don't put it the right side, right way up, it will still work. So I know where theirs are going to go. So actually, let me just put a little dab of E6000 and E6000 back on top of it. And while I've got that open, I am going to glue. Now this is kind of the tricky part because I want to make sure that my border is really adhering well to this. So I'm going to lift it up carefully, separating those magnets, and then pull it over here. The last thing we are going to do is these. And while these are drying, I'm going to go ahead and let that flip. And I'm going to turn this over so that I can measure these out. And a ruler. It doesn't really matter where you put these, so it's totally up to you. Looks like I measured 2 inches in from each side. And then how far down do I want those? That was 1/2 inch down. Again, you can do that however you want. So I have my crocodile set. Well, no, I don't. I'm going to put it on the 3/16. Okay. Turn that over and punch those holes. Now, if you would like eyelets in there, you need to set this to A1 and move your little bar back over to the front. Let me get some eyelets. I think I'll go with the gold ones. I got these, goodness, looks like from one of the thrift store finds. So now all you need is some ribbon to hang. Let me look through my ribbons and see what I come up with. I think I will use this yellow because I just love how it goes with this color scheme. I think I will need to angle this to fit it in there. I had just put it through the hole and tied a knot. Hole, tie a knot, somewhere around there. Now I'll measure this for your sake. 17 times 2, so about 34 inches. Now all you'll need to do is to decorate the front, and now this one I had, obviously it was designated for passbook logs, but whatever your theme is of your swaps, you know, if you want to put all your pocket letter swaps on one log, if you want to have another one for your memory deck swaps, it's totally up to you. So for now I'm looking at this. It came with the set, and I love this. Believe in the good things coming. And I think that is going to be so appropriate for a swap log. I think I'm going to back it up on this gold cardstock. Now I've had a hard time in the past gluing things to this particular paper of mine, so I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac because I know it will help hold it. Let me trim this down. I think I am going to put that in an angle like this and leave myself room because eventually I think I will put some sort of title on here, but I'm really not feeling it right now. So I don't even think I'm going to glue this on. I think what I'm going to do is just clip this in place, and I'm going to open this up now. And I'm going to clip this in place for now until I can think of what else I want on this cover. But in the meantime, I want to show you what we have here. I've got this border up here. I have the eyelets. This paper here is scored right there so that it folds nicely. And there is your way of holding your swap information. And again, I will just put that there. So make sure you take all the links down below because I will give you a link to the actual swap log that I have inside here. And you can put the title at the top. This one says Passbooks, but I will just leave the next one blank so you can put your own title in there. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful.